And sometimes we've been taught that money is evil, or money is this, or money is that. But money is essentially a tool to get us to where we want to go. What has been your experience with money? Do you love money? What's your experience? What's your personal experience?
You hit it right on the nail, honestly. Like, it's a tool. So it's kind of funny, people. And again, this is where society as a norm, if one person wants to break out of the matrix or break out of the world of the system, look at what society has main views on things, because everyone, like you said, money's the root of all evil. No, it's not. Now, can people with money be in power, and can they do abusive and corruption things? 1,000%, because it's a tool. But honestly, I would make the case that lack of money is the root of all evil, because then people get desperate. People then steal. People can hurt other people because they don't have that. But money for me, like, it's really a tool, and it's a tool for freedom. That's the biggest thing. And it gives you decisions and choices. And that's the thing, is when you are able to make certain money, you're able to acquire more, you get more freedom, you get more decisions, you get more choices, you can give more. Like, I donate every single month to my church, to others, to friends. Like, I always know that it keeps coming to me, so I can disperse it. The funny thing too is a lot of people will always say, money doesn't print, or money doesn't grow on trees. Well, here in America, we print money, like actually print money. So it really and technically does grow on trees. So you just got to change your mindset. And one of my early guys that I would listen to, have you ever heard of Jim Rohn?
Yeah.
So Jim Rohn had a phrase that really hit me, because I was like in beginning stages of my journey. And it was, if you want to make more money, you need to become more valuable to the marketplace. And that just kind of flipped a switch in my head, where it's like, okay, right now, because I was like just barely out of high school, I was like, I don't really bring a crazy amount of value to the marketplace. I can sell weed. That's great. But like in reality, what other value? So then that's when I started really growing and learning. And that when you build yourself up and you grow, then you're going to acquire the money. It's just going to go after you on that side. And again, it's a tool. And the funny thing too is, one of my early mentors also told me, money and age are the two things that bring out the true person that you are. So if you were rude and mean when you were broke, you're most likely still going to be rude and mean when you are wealthy. If you were selfish when you were broke, you're most likely still going to be that way when you're old. But if you are very giving, well, when you're broke and you make more money, you're probably still going to be giving. So it really just showcases who you are.
Right. Adding value. How do people start if an entrepreneur is here making 6 figures and they want to grow, how do they start adding more value?
So if you are an entrepreneur that's at the 6-figure level, what you did to get to 6 figures is not going to get you to 7 figures. Obviously, as someone that's already making 6 figures at that point, as within your business, there's some type of offer that you're selling. There's some type of problem that you're solving. So from there, the biggest next step is going to be, honestly, adding more eyeballs and adding more team members to scale it. Now, when you're saying value, it depends on where someone's at. If they're at the 6-figure level and they need to add more, they want to add more value to make more money, it varies. A lot of times you can take one offer and you can take that to $1 million business. The other thing too is if you're starting from like, say, hey, I'm not making any money, or I don't have a business yet. I always like to then kind of think of what problem can you solve and what thing can you actually go do that can add value. And value doesn't mean like, hey, I got to help someone grow their business to millions of dollars. It can be as simple as, hey, I can go start a maid service. I can go to houses and I can clean their house. And that's value, because it's like, hey, I'm super busy. I don't want to clean my house, or I can't reach my fan. You can, and you'll do it. Cool. And then that's how you're adding value to people, and you can start building a business. One, it's solving a problem by cleaning, but it's also adding the value by giving their time back. So it kind of just phrases and varies on where they're at in their journey.
So if somebody comes to you now, they're wanting to start a business, they've identified the value that they want to bring into the world, or the problem they want to solve in the world. how do you support them to take the next steps? What's sort of the process that you work with the people that come to you?
So, good question on that. So, Influential, which is like my bread and butter baby right now, that I launched with my business partner. That one, it's very specific people who we help. But if someone's just like reaching out, asking for help or guidance on like their life or their business, if they have an offer, the first thing that I will always like to do is what I call MMO. So, message, market, offer. So, like, hey, what is your message? Like, what are we going after? What are we actually trying to say? Like, for example, like, so let's say I'm selling these canvases. Well, my message is like, let's say I want to inspire people with a different type of canvas, and I want to have high quality canvases that are from the norm, right? This is like iconic, where I remember even my dad had like random old canvases that I thought looked so old and weird, and they were like business leadership ones. I was like, that's stupid. And then I had these on my wall because I think these look cool. So it's kind of funny how it goes, but like then you got your your market. So who are you actually trying to talk to? Because a lot of times what people go wrong with is they try to say I can help everyone. And obviously some businesses will vary, but if you try to go the everyone route, especially in the online game, there's so much noise out there that you're just going to get muffled. You're just going to get pushed to the side. And then the biggest thing that matters is your offer. What are you actually selling? What are you actually helping? And what I like to call it inside the offer is, what is your bold promise? Like, what is the transformation that you're actually selling? Because that's all anyone cares about is if I give you money, what is that transformation, or what is that big, bold, like change or thing that's going to give me that I'm going to get?